Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another riveting episode of Reimagine Entertainment with Josiah Wright. Today, we're going to be delving into a topic that has been capturing creative minds from across the globe, enhancing creativity with AI tools and techniques. In an industry that's as dynamic and ever-changing as the entertainment industry, creativity reigns supreme. It's the lifeblood of how everything works. It's the driving force behind captivating movies, mesmerizing music, enthralling artwork. Without it, the world of entertainment would be devoid of imagination. But here's the thing, creativity can be a fickle companion, often eluding the most brilliant minds. It's kind of like trying to capture lightning in a bottle. And that's where AI comes into play, or at least it can. It can come alongside us, offering a hand to help us fuel our creative endeavors. As it is, artificial intelligence, or AI, has infiltrated nearly every aspect of our lives. All AI is just a really smart machine. And we've surrounded ourselves with complex machines for years and years and years. And AI is revolutionizing the way that we create. Whether for good or bad, it is. And it will become a powerful tool in the hands of artists, musicians, filmmakers, writers, and it's going to allow these people to unlock new realms of inspiration. See, AI analyzes vast amounts of data. It can identify patterns, trends, connections that humans just aren't seeing. And this allows it to be a really great teacher, and it allows us to dip into a well of information that we would never be able to assimilate on our own. But AI's influence doesn't just stop there. It also lends its computational prowess to expedite workflows, providing artists with a time-saving edge. Now, AI is still in its infancy, so it's still got a lot of room to grow. But eventually, AI can be used for generating special effects. I mean, it already kind of is. Composing background scores, creating music. AI algorithms can streamline and automate various creative tasks, which enable the artist to focus on the core of what they're trying to do, rather than having to do all of these mundane technicalities. So, join me as we embark on this exciting journey into the intersection between creativity and artificial intelligence. We're going to look at some of the groundbreaking techniques that are already being used, some things that can happen in the future, and we can begin to witness the transformation that's happening in the entertainment industry because of AI. I'm Josiah Wright, and this is Reimagine Entertainment. Let's get started. So right now we're seeing a lot of AI stuff. We're seeing amazing images created by Midjourney. We're seeing stuff like Google Music LM, which can create music based off of a text prompt. We're seeing the Adobe Photoshop generative fill. There's all kinds of stuff happening in the world of AI and art. And a lot of this is still kind of riding under the surface. It hasn't super hit mainstream yet. And I believe that there's a lot of people that think that AI is going to be this thing that produces a finalized, finished product, and we're not there yet. Personally, I like to use AI as a creative means of inspiration. I feed it a bunch of information, and then it gives me thoughts and breakdowns of that information. It allows me to consume information at a much faster rate, especially when I'm trying to understand something. And what do we need in order to create? We have to ingest things. If your creative tank ain't full, you ain't gonna create. I'll just tell you that right now. AI is a great tool for helping with inspiration and giving you ideas. I've said this before and I'll say it again. AI is like the lump of stone that we can use and chisel away at to get to what we're trying to say. One of my favorite tools is ChatGPT. I know it's really popular, everybody's using it, but what I like to do is use it to mine for ideas. I have ideas that come up, I throw it all into ChatGPT and I give it a directive, and it's able to help me come up with some more ideas. It's kind of like having somebody right there with you all the time that you can riff with. Is it the same? Not exactly, but it does help creativity to move forward. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. But my point is, using AI can supercharge your creativity. It doesn't matter if you're a songwriter, a filmmaker, a writer, an artist. There are AI tools that are around right now that can boost your creativity, your inspiration. And it's not going to be that long until we have more tools that help to expedite your workflows. Okay, so let's talk about AI-driven music composition and production. One of the areas that's kind of burgeoning right now is AI-generated music. Like I mentioned before, Google has Music LM, Facebook just put out an AI, and there was another local installation AI music generator that just came out. And all of these things are pushing the envelope on what we thought was possible with AI in music. Imagine being able to write a text prompt in order to get a cool piano sound that you're looking for. And then you're able to take that sound and you're able to put it into your DAW, put some different effects on it, clip it, shift it a little bit until it sounds like something that you want to use. And all of a sudden, more ideas will come. Or imagine instead of having to go to a sample library to find a kick sample that you like when you're making your record, you can go to a generative AI and say, give me a kick sample, and it's going to generate one for you right on the spot. These are tools that exist right now. Imagine being able to go into ChatGPT, telling it everything that you've been thinking about and feeling today, and then giving it a directive to give you 5 song ideas, including a description of what the song's about. It could be game-changing. If you're stuck, if you're feeling like you can't get anywhere with your music, game-changing. And there are other things as well, like plugins that are AI controlled. There's not a lot of these yet, but imagine being able to put AI plugins into your mixing process that expedites your workflow. Amazing. And most musical artists that are out there that have done any kind of mixing or mastering know that there are AI-powered mastering services as well. Now, there's a lot of argument over whether or not these are worth the money or if they're as good as humans, which in my opinion, they're not usually. But it's not going to be that long before this all changes. Once fed enough information, these AIs are going to be able to pick up on patterns faster and better than humans are. Now, does that replace a human in the music process? No, it doesn't. There is something innately different about the human soul when it comes to creating. These AIs are just machines. We have to be able to tell it what to do. It's not going to create things that are truly going to express what other humans need to hear or want to hear. But I digress. What I would love to see more of, I would love to see an AI where I can hum a melody that I'm thinking about, and then it will take that melody and give me some chord progression options, or give me beat options. Not that this is the final product, but it gives me ideas. Or think about this, and there's some stuff kind of like this out there. What if I'm able to sing into my microphone, into my DAW, and record it, and then using AI, I'm able to change my voice into a saxophone, change my voice into a guitar solo, and it sounds convincing. That would be awesome. And not far-fetched. Imagine me being able to create a vocal clone of myself that I can use to fix little words or phrases that were messed up during the recording process, or that I could use as a songwriting tool to hear how something would sound without having to go through the recording process initially. There are so many possibilities. Okay, we're going to wrap up talking about music for a little bit. We're going to talk about AI-assisted visual art and design. Okay, so everybody's all ablaze about Photoshop, Generative Fill, Midjourney, Balenciaga. Not only are these AI tools amazing for photo restoration or fixing something in a photo that you didn't necessarily want to be there, but these can be awesome tools for creative inspiration and for helping along the creative process. Imagine being able to storyboard your film or your TV show using AI generative art 10 times faster than having to do it the other way, which is painstakingly drawing, sketching, rendering. Now, I understand right now there are some flaws to this method. It's really hard to be able to achieve a specific shot angle or perspective or composition when it comes to AI-generated art. But that's changing too. I am anxiously awaiting what is called Dragan, or Drag Your GAN, which is an AI tool that will allow you to be able to select a point on an image, move it, it re-renders the image without messing everything up in the image, but allows you to essentially move parts of the image while retaining the rest. And it makes it all look natural. And this is just the start. I really believe that we're going to get to the point where we can have a 2-dimensional sketch that we can move around like it's 3D space. Will it be perfect? Not to begin with. But for now, it will be great for storyboarding, using it as a base form for our artwork. And that's not even to mention some of the tools that are up and coming. We're going to start to see AI tools that allow us to take a sketch and turn it into a finalized product by giving the AI some parameters. This is all going to be quickly changing. It's only been 3 or 4 years since all of this generative art started, and now we're seeing massive leaps in the quality of that art. And I know that there is a lot of concern over the ethical nature of all of this. And I do believe that there needs to be some safeguarding around some of the usage of the AI, but that being said, it's hard to put the cat back in the bag. And this is going to have a massive impact on traditional art. Does that mean traditional art's going away? Nope. In fact, I think that this can be a moment where artists can shine even more than they did before. Over time, people are going to find out that AI-generated art is too basic. It gets stuck in certain tropes, if you will. And what we're going to need are artists who can feed the AI with their specific style. Imagine an AI artist seeking out a traditional artist in order to get a hand up on something new or fresh. I know that's not everybody's favorite idea, but I think it's especially awesome when you start thinking about doing concept art for film, television, etc. Especially if you're doing animated, being able to build a library of a specific style for that TV show or movie is critical for it feeling unique. But AI can greatly expedite workflows and can reduce costs by a lot. But this means that artists have an opportunity to get paid a lot more for the work that they're doing. Just a thought. Now, I know there's more we can talk about as far as that goes, but there's a lot of space for us to be able to be creative within the generative art and design space. And I also want to talk a little bit about AI and storytelling and narrative generation. Right now, a lot of the language learning models that we use, like ChatGPT or GPT-4 and others, can be fairly repetitive. They do an amazing job, but they're not perfect. And so what I like to do, rather than getting the AI to give me a finished product, I like to use AI as my writing assistant, feeding it information, feeding it my creative ideas, pulling what it's giving back to me, tweaking, adding ideas, until I go from this broad scale thing into something that's a lot more defined. And then I can take that and I can actually write that into something. But AI is never going to say exactly what you want it to say. And you got to take it by your hands and you've got to mold it and chisel at it and shape it. But I think that AI is a great tool to help you write narratives, to help you write stories. It can even help you come up with ideas for stories. Most of them are going to be garbage, but if you dig long enough, you're going to find something that you're like, oh, that's a good idea. Not the whole thing, but I can tweak it, and then it'll be a good idea. Now let's talk about some ethical considerations and future implications of using AI in our creativity. Number one, there are going to be a lot of people that are lazy and do not touch the work as much as they should, which will lead to predictable AI-driven ruts. It will lead to a creativity slump in some regard. But to be completely honest, those will be the generic, no-brain stories that people don't want to consume. Creativity is king in entertainment. The best stories are going to rise to the top. The best music is going to rise to the top. Well, within reason. Obviously, taste and opinion factor into that as well. But that's not new. It is very important that human creativity drives and pushes and directs. Now, AI can be an assistant that helps with all of that, but left to its own, it's not going to create things that humans want to consume, at least more often than not. Now, I could be wrong. We'll have to see. I know I talk about AI a lot right now. Part of that's because it is massively changing things, and it's going to become more integrated into everything. It just is. And do I think that's bad? Not inherently so. I think there will be negative consequences, and I think there will be positive consequences. But the reality is, it's coming. And so we have to be able to learn as creatives how to take the tools that we have so that we can create things that people love. Isn't that the point of all of this? To be able to express ourselves and create things that people love. That's what I want to do. And not only that, I want to be able to help you on your journey to grow in your creativity. Specifically, I want to talk to the songwriters out there for just a minute. I've been writing music for over 15 years. Am I the best songwriter in the world? Probably not, but I've got a lot of experience and I am a good songwriter. And I'm not saying that just to toot my own horn, but I know how frustrating it is getting stuck in writer's block. And coming soon, I'm going to be starting a group coaching course that is going to help you get unstuck. One thing that I am really good at doing is getting unstuck creatively so that I can keep writing. Like I said, there are better songwriters out there than me, but I can teach you how to get unstuck in your writer's block. And so I want you guys to keep an eye out for that. I'll be talking about that more in the future. But if you're a songwriter and you're stuck in your writing, or you don't know how to move forward, keep an eye out. I'm going to be starting an online group coaching course just for you because I believe that you have music to write. All right, guys, enough about that, but thank you guys so much for tuning in today to Reimagine Entertainment with Josiah Wright. Hope you enjoyed some tea while you watched. Keep an eye out for the next episode next week. And hey, if you're interested in that online group coaching course, comment below Reimagine Songwriting so that I can see who's interested. All right, y'all, keep creating.